A few weeks ago, I launched a Webcam Studio Bootcamp with the two African gentlemen that I interviewed on my channel a couple months ago. And the goal of the bootcamp was to help agency owners recruit and onboard and implement models for a webcam studio that they would run that would then drive traffic to the models' OnlyFans pages. In this video, I'm going to give you the boot camp is pretty much over. We have 1 week left. And in this video, I'm going to give you my assessment of the boot camp. I'm going to give you guys some results, talk about some lessons that we learned, or that I learned at least. I can't speak for everybody. And future boot camps, all that stuff. What's up, everybody? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. I said that right. Okay. So the first thing that I learned, webcam is compared to OnlyFans, running a webcam studio is super easy. Super easy. It's easier. It's simpler. The money is not as good. Fine. You're not going to do $50,000 a month for a girl on webcam. You know, you're probably not going to do $10,000 a month from one girl, but it's so much easier to get it up and running, and it just like kind of runs itself and you don't have to do anything, right? And I didn't realize this going in. I had my OFM goggles on when I went into this, and I went into this like with this like super analytical mind, like, okay, like how are we going to do this? How are we going to like convince the girls that it's a good idea? But that's not how it works. Okay. So I'm going to break down how running a webcam studio actually works after, doing it for a month. And now I have girls who are camming and driving traffic to OnlyFans and all that stuff. Like I have that now. It exists. Firsthand experience of that, and also of, the bigger studio, I guess, that I've seen that does well. So the way that it works, and it's super simple, you recruit a girl who wants to do webcam, or you recruit a girl, you explain to her what webcamming is. You give her a schedule of when she will cam. You hire somebody to handle the private, like the direct messages, to help book privates and send people to the OnlyFans. And you like stick them together on the shift at the same time. And that's it. That's all. The chatter training is minimal. Like, do the sexting to the guys and like try to get them heated up and ask them if they want to book a private. Be like, oh, wow, that sounds so fun. Like we could have so much fun if you booked a private, right? Some guys will just be like, hey, do you do privates? Like these are buyers. These guys are there to spend money. They are in the stream because they like the girl and they want to spend money. Okay. So that's not hard. And I'm not saying it's easy to get the subs to OnlyFans, but it works. Like they do subscribe. And like I said, they know what they are there for. And if you have a girl who's doing it, then the money comes in every night without you having to do anything. It's I don't want to say it's hands off or it's passive, but like it works. Connecting the dots is easy and it's not that hard. So the business model itself is very easy. It's not like OnlyFans where like you need fucking 8 different types of content for 8 different platforms, and there's a waiting period until she's going to get any results, and like, all this bullshit, right? You got to manage the model. You got to keep her in a good mood. You got to connect her bank account that you have control to, and fucking, there's none of that. Like with webcam, you get paid into your account and then you pay her once a week. That's it. You have the money. It's really nice. I'm not saying it's a perfect business model, but it works, And for girls that aren't interested in making social media content, let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, OnlyFans people, OnlyFans managers, heed my words. You do not need every girl to make $50,000 a month. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to have girls on your roster that do $5,000 a month. If you don't have to do any work, that's fine. Okay. With webcam and with, if you set it up properly, like let's say a girl is camming and traffic is going to OnlyFans. Let's say she gets 10 subs a day. Let's just say that's all she gets. 10 subs a day. You have a chatter on her OnlyFans account. You have a chatter on her webcam stream. Money's coming in. you don't have to do anything. If it's only $5,000 a month, let's say you get out of that $2,500. It's still $2,500 extra a month that you don't have to do anything. It's no work on your end. Multiply that by 10, do the math. It's very reliable. And like Webcam is not going to change anytime soon. Webcam's been the same since it came out. The website probably has literally been the same since it came out. Like Chatterbait has not changed their website in fucking 20 years. So it's a stable business model. It's easy, and it's much easier than you think to get it set up. Now, talk about the results of the bootcamp, because even though I said that it's easier to set up, the results of the bootcamp, unfortunately, were not very good. Now, what I mean by this is that the people who enrolled in the bootcamp did not successfully recruit models to CAM. However, this was not the fault of, the guys that I was running the program with. If anything, it was my fault because I did not put adequate emphasis on the recruiting part of building a webcam studio. What do I mean by that? So, every business is really, there's like one or two things that you need to focus on in order to make that business explode, right? For OFM, I would argue my recent realization is that the thing you need to focus on is chatting. If you focus on chatting with OFM, you'll make a ton of money. Because when I shifted my focus to chatting, everything just fucking blew up, completely blew up for me. And chatting is the one thing that I had ignored for most of my OFM career. With Webcam, the focus should be on recruiting. Now, when we structured the bootcamp, when we set up the bootcamp, my natural thought was to do it like every other program that I've ever set up, where like, okay, week 1, we're going to talk about this. Then week 2, we're going to talk about this. And we got to come up with 5 different things or 4 different things. Well, 5 really, because there were 5 weeks. 5 different things we need to talk about to get people up to speed so that they understand how this whole works. But the assumption that I made that was wrong is that I need to spend an equal amount of time on each of those 5 things. And that's wrong. In the next bootcamp, we are going to spend much more time on recruiting. And when I say recruiting, I really mean recruiting and onboarding. And here's why. The first reason is that with Webcam, you have a high rate of churn, meaning that it's like OnlyFans, same shit, right? You recruit these girls like, oh my God, yes, I totally want to do it. And then they get on their first stream and they're supposed to stream for 3-4 hours and they go for 10 minutes and like, oh, actually, like, oh, my dog is in the hospital now. And like, I'm sorry, I can't, but I'll let you know, some bullshit. They come up with some nonsense. And that's just how it is. So, and this is not something that I didn't learn this until the last call that we did, where I asked a question on the weekly call, right? And I was like, at what point would you recommend everybody to get a second girl for Webcam? Like, at what point do you get the second one? And the guy that I asked, he was like, you know what, man? Like, I don't think you should look at it like that. I think instead of trying to do 1 at a time, I think you should do 5 at a time because of the churn. And because like they're all going to progress at different rates. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck, he's absolutely right. If you just 5x or 10x everything, including the recruiting, let's say, then you're much more likely to get that one who's a fucking superstar, who's reliable, who's going to show up on time and is going to cam 6 hours a day happily without you having to worry about her quitting. So the point is that the results were not good yet. We have 1 more week in the program, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do to like fix that, because we have a fix in mind for that as well. The results were not as good as I would like them to be, because I want to run a successful program so that I can run more programs in the future. I also obviously want people to feel like they're getting their money's worth and to have something good to say about the program, even if they think that we like taught it well and all that. My goal is that at the end of the program, people can say, yes, I did this program and now I have at least 1 girl who's camming regularly, which means they will make their money back in a month. So that's all I want. I want that. We have 6 people that signed up. I want 6 people to say that. So it's not that hard now that I know what I know now. So the point is that I needed to spend more time on recruiting and onboarding, because that's how this business, that's how to grow the business: recruiting, onboarding. If If I have 100 girls who want to do webcam hit me up per day, I'm going to have a successful webcam studio, period. End of story. Okay, so second lesson that I learned is that webcam is passive cash flow if you set it up correctly. So I kind of alluded to this in the beginning, but with webcam, you're not going to make $1 bazillion, but you can get yourself a nice little chunk of change that is pretty much passive if you set it up correctly. And what do I mean by set it up correctly? Now let's take all the technical stuff of like setting up the stream and the account and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say set it up correctly, what I mean is you find one girl or you find a girl who is willing to cam every single day. She likes it. She enjoys it. It's fun. She has time, whatever. She understands how it's going to put traffic in OnlyFans and she's going to make more money that way, blah, blah, blah. So that's number one. That's the first step. You get a girl like that. The second step, connecting the dots, is you get a chatter to manage her private chats. I thought I heard something in the hallway. Is that a cat? There's this fucking cat that hangs around all the time. Like, I've kind of adopted it. Anyway, the second step is finding a chatter, right? You get a chatter, you put the chatter on the account, and then they just talk. Like, they do their thing. He manages the messages, and that's it. Sorry, this fucking cat is distracting me. So once you have those two things set up, then it's like hands off for you. You can tell the chatter, be like, okay, work it out between you guys when exactly you're going to go live. They know that they're supposed to go 3-4 hours a day, whatever. But like maybe it's 10 minutes later, maybe it's 10 minutes earlier. The chatter communicates with her. Okay, like this guy wants to book a private. This guy wants you to fucking bend over. This guy wants you to fucking clap like a seal. I don't know, whatever. They handle everything. Money comes in, you collect it, you pay both of them. That's it. You don't have to think about it. And then eventually, I'm not there yet, but I assume that like once you get to 10 girls, let's say, there will be enough like little things that you need to deal with that you need to stick in some kind of manager to like run that and make sure that you don't have to actually fucking answer 20 messages a day. Third lesson is that it is surprisingly easy to find girls who are willing to cam. Now, for us, I think that we view webcam as this like outdated method, this outdated business model. Like, why would anybody do webcam when they can just do OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans is so much more money. It's less work theoretically, right? Why would you do webcam instead? That was at least my opinion of it. And I think other people share that as well. Just because it takes more time, the girl has to actually go live every day. She's not going to make that much compared to OnlyFans. So it's kind of inferior. So you would think like, why would any girls do it? And the reason that they would do it is because it's reliable income. They know that they're going to make money. They are going to have some money coming in. And it's similar mentality. It's like, why would anybody have a job when you could just start a business and make so much more money? That's really what it comes down to. These girls would rather have $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, but have it more or less guaranteed than to take a chance and make $0 for 2 months and then make $5,000 a month. That's not how the female mind works. So you want to and finding these girls is not that hard. Even American girls, it's not that hard to find girls who are willing to do this. Obviously, it's better to find it's easier to find Latinas, easier to find Eastern Europeans because they have fewer options. But even if you want to only work with Americans, it's not that hard. The fourth bottleneck, or the fourth thing, which I already mentioned, is that the biggest bottlenecks are recruiting and onboarding, and to a lesser extent, hiring and training chatters. So you still need to let's talk about the chatters for a second. Now, I take a different approach. The African guys who I'm doing the program with, they pay hourly. They pay like $3 an hour for them to run the chats. I took a different approach. Okay, I tried paying hourly, and I put the wrong person on there. They didn't know how to chat. They were not motivated to chat. So they were not motivated to book privates. At the end of the day, you pretty much want everybody in a commission-based role. Because if they're in a commission-based role, they're going to be more motivated to put in effort. With the exception, you could argue, of models who you want them, like OnlyFans models. Like, I'm starting to open my eyes to salary models at this point. But anyway, you want everybody on a commission-based role because the harder they try, the more money they will make. And the same goes for chatters on webcam as well. If you put chatters on webcam, they're going to be more motivated to book privates. They're going to be more motivated to, send people to the OnlyFans. So right now I pay 15%, right? So they're getting 50 cents per sub that they send over, and they're getting 15% of the revenue generated from the stream itself. So girls get 40, chatter gets 15, I take the rest, and then that's it. And I've found that will give me very motivated chatters who want to work and want to help these girls book privates and want to send people to OnlyFans instead of feeling like it's an obligation. Like they think you get more percent of their brain doing that. Okay, so last thing, how are we going to solve the problem with the Webcam Bootcamp? So for the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to take these learnings and focus more on recruiting and onboarding. And we're also going to offer a done-for-you solution where we are going to recruit the models, we are going to onboard them, we are going to hire and train chatters, and we are basically going to give you all of this. We're going to hand it over to you. You get a model, you get a chatter, stick them together, give them to you. There you go. So you're guaranteed to get at least one girl. Right now, with this program that we have going on right now, we've offered it as like an additional fee, just because it wouldn't be like we're going to extend the bootcamp by a little bit and help focus on getting better results with recruiting. But it wouldn't be fair to the people that are providing the models and providing the chatter training to not pay them for that, which is why it's at an extra fee. And then future boot camps, we're just going to raise the prices to offset that cost. So, but the good news is that now you're going to be guaranteed, like you sign up for the program, you're going to be guaranteed to get one model who is going to do it like every day. So you're going to make your money back guaranteed, unless you're a fucking idiot and like whatever. I don't know. And when I say one model, I'm not saying like, oh, the first girl with the pulse who replies to an ad who says she wants to do it. Like one good, reliable model who stays and cams every day and has a good attitude and all that stuff. And one chatter on the account who will do the work and do it well and properly and all that. Cool. So like, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm excited that we were able to figure this out because it was bothering me for a little bit. But you work on something long enough and you put enough thought into it, you will find a solution. Cool. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and comment if you have any questions and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.